The sky over New York City is dark. The light pollution of the many tall buildings that make up its skyline enough to blown out the view of most stars. This is normal for those who live in New York. This is normal for the Sept of the Green to gaze into the night sky and see only inky blackness, marked only with Luna's shining light, or perhaps not even with her presence some days. However, very recently, the status quo has changed, whereas not far from Luna in the sky burns the ominous red fire of that star, the one that, when they gaze upon it, perhaps
Shelby. Shelby.
Oh, am I the only one who hear only the silence?
No.
Nope. Oh, I
Oh.
think Shelby got kicked.
Oh boy.
I think the apocalypse happened, guys.
I think
Basically, what happens is a lot of Garu when they sort of green gathers. You guys will see the Bites the Week bringing the cubs. There's a lot of stuff to eat nearly everywhere. Tons of pizza. The Bonars are bringing the pizzas. Yes, we are.
okay.
You can bring pizza to Umber. The teams are getting good as best as they can. It's the moot day, and Shelby's back.
shout out to Hangouts for not sucking or anything. So, anyway, as I was saying, rivaling Luna in her brilliance in the sky now is that burning red star, the one that fills the stomachs and the hearts with Guru, with dread, fear, and anticipation. However, tonight, not only is the sky a little brighter than usual, but the umbral reflection of the sept a little louder, a little more active, as Gru are slowly beginning to gather for one of the most important events that their people hold dear. Several Pure Tribes members gather in the center, with but one Fianna with them, one child of Gaia, and a Bone Nar. The rest of the Seps Gru, and perhaps even some visitors who heard of Amut, have gathered around, preparing for the rite. The Gru who called the rite, Roanoke, will look down to Tapisa and Tlate and place a hand on each of their shoulders and nod. It's time. Let's get started.
Oh boy, a joy. It's my turn. Tafisa take will take a step forward, and she will howl first the introduction to the moot, calling upon old Garu to gather in the sacred rite of their people, for this is I blame all the Fianna.
I'm here.
We can't have nice things anymore. As I was saying, before Felix's wife chose to boot me out, they are gathered. They are gathered here to talk about the affairs of the Sept, the events and all the events that have happened between now and the previous moot. And she will turn to Rowan Oak. We have been honored. We have been honored by a presence of an Afro of the Uktena tribe, a tribe of wisdom, a tribe that follows the great horned snake, one who knows secrets like no others. This is Rowan Oaks, Thames, the Forgotten, and oh, see, I don't remember the other name. Shelby, previous one, the next one. Yeah, speaks with a splintered tongue, Afro, Uktena born on 2 legs, summoner of the Uktena Incarna, creator and bringer of a Kami in the Sept of the Green, of the name of Anthony Mega, traveler of a Flux realm, dancer within the Umbra landscapes, and bearer of the golden eye, born from the darkness of the abyss. He is the one that will preside on this day. Recognize him and hear his name. We have had many events, past and present, many events that I'm sure will be heavily discussed today. But let us all also remember that we striked two time against Andron, against the worm, against our enemies who 2 times tried to kill us, tried to stop us from our righteous fury. They failed. However, in doing so in our battle, one of us has been claimed. The Bodnar Ragabash, that was known as Fred. He fought valiantly and he died in the service of Gaia, fighting our enemies. Remember his name and his sacrifice. Remember all. Remember those who have fallen of the ends of our enemies, or the one of our own. And remember the ones who are not here, the ones who die in the forest, the breed of the lupus, the ones who were the first and today are slowly dying because of our enemies, because of greed. Howl with me so that they can hear us, that we don't forget them, because we never forget. And we never forgive.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I think we have an enthusiast over there.
The Seps Gru will raise their heads and join Tapisa in the final part of the opening howl as the Umbra echoes for miles and miles with the song of many gathered Guru. After the howl dies down, soon it will only be the lupus of the Sept howling in their final message, showing, even those of the Sept of the Green, the dwindling lupus population as their howl takes on a sad, mournful tinge, nowhere near in strength to the howl of even the Hamids alone, perhaps even the Metis of the Sept. As this dies down, Roanoke will lower his head and make eye contact with Talate, give her a very subtle nod.
Yeah, she'll nod back, and like the Guru of the Sept can see that she has placed several items in like the middle of the the open place. She'll keep the silence after the howls have died out for a while, and will then slowly grab one of the items, which is a wind chime, and will walk to the east corner of the open place and hang the wind chime on a branch. And as she does, she'll say, "East wind, we ask for your aid in the mood." Then she'll walk back to the middle, grab a carved piece of wood, and we'll place that in the south. "South wind, we ask for your aid in the mood." Walk back to the middle again, carefully picks up 2 ceramic cups that are filled with water and places them in the west. "West wind, we ask for your aid in the mood." And she'll take a bowl with water that is completely frozen and places that in the north. And again repeats, "North wind, we ask for your aid in the mood." And she'll walk back to the middle again and will place 2 mirrors opposite of each other, and we'll put a stone under both of them. And we'll say, "Inner wind, we ask for your aid in the mood." Then again, she'll let the silence kind of hang amongst the Guru till she grabs a dream catcher and she grabs a stick, holds it up for everyone so that they can see it, and puts the stick in the earth, the dream catcher on the stick. "Camira, spirit of dreams and riddles, ever-changing father of knowledge and guardian of the Sept, we ask for your aid in the mood." And as that's done, she'll take a bowl of that's filled with seeds and nuts, and some of it she'll, like in a circle, spread around the mirrors and the dream catcher. Great white mouse, spirit of resilience and resourcefulness, mother of silent steps in the night, we ask for your aid in the mood. And as she made that circle, she'll look around to the Garu that have assembled, and she'll kind of raise her voice a little as she's addressing all of them. Which two Garu want to step forward and take the position of the Shining Ones?
OC question. When it comes to the land of all,
I would say not yet. This is a fairly important part of the moot.
okay, just checking.
Is no one here willing to
OC.
represent? Sorry, yes.
Yeah, no, OC, can you just give me a slow rundown of the Shining Ones? Because I'm trying to read the document.
It's part of the inner sky, right?
It's why non-people dress as the Septotems.
Okay, yeah. Letitia will. I guess, is there? Do you have quote unquote costumes or masks?
She has a little thing with what looks like white clay that she's holding.
Okay, then yeah, Letitia will take a step forward.
Catcher will.
Yeah, Aiden will, because, you know, fuck it.
She'll look at the three of them. There are two Septotems. Which of them?
And he'll look at her. Do you have a problem? You know, with a smile, you know, as he's putting the thing on him.
If it would be more appropriate for someone else, I merely offered as a child of rat to stand for Great White Mouse.
I think it should be the one who dishonored him should honor him in terms of seeing his service. He'll look over specific at Forlorn. After all, he's meant to be going on a spiritual quest, isn't he? I think it would be more than fitting to get one final blessing before he goes on his way. He slams down on a gavel beside him, approvingly.
You see, Baistavi kind of stares in your eyes and looks at Forlorn.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I just missed a bit. But what happened with Forlorn? Sorry about that.
I believe you're being asked to be one of the Shining Ones.
Yeah, okay. He'll nod, step up.
And she'll, since, you know, Tapisa was the first who offered, and Lessons is asked to offer, she'll take the two of them, and on Tapisa's forehead, she'll draw the symbol of a four-pointed star. And she'll give her the stick with the dream catcher. And on Lessons' head, she'll, with the white mud, she'll paint whiskers like that of a mouse. And she'll hand him the bowl with the rest of the nuts and seeds. And she'll have to reach up as she places a hand on both of their shoulders and again addresses the mood. These two will represent Chimera and Great White Mouse. Treat them with respect for the rest of the mood, for they are now your totems. She'll then let both of them go back to their place.
Forlorn will quietly go back to his place.
She'll quickly look around to Roanoke, and if he nods again, she will continue with the next part of the moot.
Roanoke has a bit of an amused look on his face as he glances between Forlorn and Aiden, but he will nod again.
Aiden just folds his arms, going, "Yeah, I did that. Got a problem?" You know what I mean? You know, with a smirk on his face. You know?
Yeah.
And Tlatine will ignore that, and we'll walk back to the middle. We've gathered in the sacred place of Gaia, having called our brothers and sisters of Gaia, and now we will call our brothers and sisters of Luna. She'll take up her drum and turns, basically walks to the east again. East wind, bringer of the dawn of clear air. She'll beat her drum, and from the wind chime that she hang, you can hear it's the wind's kind of gathering and the tingling of the chime. That as the wind picks up and a wind spirit kind of dances through the gathering, like blowing up hairs and clothes and that kind of stuff. You who showed us the mirror side, the other side of the velvet curtain, come to us. We thank you for your clear thought and bright lights. And she'll go back to this, or walks back to the middle, then goes to the south. And again, shouts out, "South wind, bringer of the internal fire." This time beats her drum twice. And from the carved piece of wood that she placed there, a fire spirit will kind of shoot out and shoots into the sky, circles the gathering a couple of times, and then fading away. You who gave us the fire of rage within, that we strike swiftly against our enemies, come to us. We thank you for your fiery anger and protection. She'll walk back to the middle again, then to the west. West wind, bringer of rain. This time she beats her drum 3 times, and from the 2 ceramic cups, 2 water spirits kind of emerge and spray up like fountains, kind of raising their hands and performing some sort of water ballet, splashing tiny drops of water over the entire area. You who gave us the changing ways, come to us. We thank you for the many shapes you've shared with us. She'll smile to the water spirits before turning around to the middle and then to the north. North wind, bringer of cold from the mountains. And with this, she beats her drum 4 times. And the bowl of frozen water from it emerges in ice spirits that kind of blows over the surface of the area and freezes the water drops on the grass so that it looks like the entire mood stands on a sparkling field. You who brought us the gifts and the sacred ways, come to us. We thank you for your wisdom and your strength. And she'll go back to the middle, stands there, her hands above her and her eyes to the sky, and holding the drum up. Inner wind, bringer of blessings from Gaia within us. She beats the drum 5 times while still holding it up. And from the sky, a moon and a sun spirits shine onto the 2 mirrors in the middle of the moot. And the light is reflected by those mirrors to the sides, and there are tiny mirrors hanging in trees, so that for a moment that light again gets reflected and reflected and reflected throughout the mood. You who hold our mother's power, come to us all. We thank you for your spirit and your peace. And she stays standing there for a bit and then slowly lowers the drum and looks down again, places the drum back, and take her position.
And after the winds are called, and after the spirit's performance in honor of them, Roanoke will step forward again, and he will say, I thank all of you who take up positions for the smoot. To the opening howler, to peace a painful truth. That was excellent, Saskia. To the caller of the winds, Tla'teheen, final right. To our fool, Aidan Lynch, tamer of dragons. To those who will perform cracking of the bone, William White, oath of silence, and Katya, last name here. Rowan will actually say her last name. I just
Smith.
What is Smith?
Smith.
Katya Smith. We will now, in our final instance of opening this moot, to the Philodox who are currently present, please step into the center of the circle. Cool. Please join them.
Yep. Katya will step forward.
Will also steps forward.
Joe will also step forward as he's a Philodox.
Philodox right now, Robbie. Will's in a rune, isn't he?
Pardon?
Philodox right now. This isn't the cracking of the bone yet.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said me. Oh, sorry, I must have not listened. I apologize.
No worries. Rowan will set the three of them up. Katya and Joe on one side, standing shoulder to shoulder, and Aidan standing across from them. Our traditions are the thing most important to us as Garou, and with them come our laws. The present Philodox will now state the tenets of the litany and argue for them. And he will look to the fool and just give him a nod like you know what to do.
Aiden squeezes hold of the gavel going, oh, I'm fucking ready. You know what I mean?
First tenet of the litany, he will look
Garou. Garou shall not meet with Garou.
and Rowan will step back, resume his silence, and nod for the three of them to go ahead.
This law is vital as it is a cornerstone of the nation, which is based on the fact that in order to survive we mate, and by breaking this tenet and giving birth to a menace, it diminishes the number of those who can mate and add their strength to the nation. As Joe. Sorry, was everyone able to hear me?
It kind of lagged for me a bit.
Okay, I'll try and say it again. I don't know if I can say it exactly the way I said it, but Joe
I
basically
think
And actually, Aidan will smirk to himself and look at Katya going with a smile. Doc's first, ladies first love, and smile, bang down on the
I
gavel.
assumed we'd take it in turns. Do you need us both to defend the same piece of the
Oh,
litany?
sorry. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. He smiled to himself,
If you have a
fixing his belt
response.
buckle. Response? Well, looks at Talate, looks at 10 Point, spins around, looks at Forlorn, throws the gavel in his hand. Well, we've clearly broken that law a couple of times, but nobody here has made a medicine recently, although these people have proven themselves to be useful. I agree. We should keep hold of this law. Garou should not make will or Garou. It is right. It is a judgment based on Gaia herself. Now, have we kept accordance to that? Have we gone soft on our metas? That is the question. Have we not reminded them of what they really are? I would say otherwise. I'd say we're too soft on these people, on these things. After all, one of my own tribe murdered a kinfolk, and he was a metis. And what did we do? He's alive now, and caused the center of conflict.
I'm gonna take a point of rage.
Question. Out of character, because this is the first time I've ever done a moot. Am I allowed to give a rebuttal to that, or do we just move on?
I will spend a point of willpower not to kill Aiden.
Aiden is pissing a lot of Garu right now.
The Philodox are going to state the law, why it's important. The Fool argues why it's not important. The Philodox argue why it is important. We move to the next rule.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
If-
Aiden will turn. So, sorry, go ahead.
Interesting. Side note, I will let the cub answer. It is good experience for him. But it is interesting that I hear that you now claim he is of your tribe when I hear that previously the Fianna had completely disavowed him being of the Fianna on the premise that he was a Metis and therefore not a Fianna and not a Garou.
Aiden will smirk. The fact that the Philodox made the judgment based on needs of the weak in terms of him surviving, we no longer recognized. We recognized his crimes and we are ashamed of his crimes, but however, proper justice was met out for neither the Fianna nor the pure tribes, and we both know that. So, in a way, maybe it is a reflection on how this law is failing. Maybe we should all breed. Why not make a new one? Sure, because after all, chaos is the only thing that reigns seemingly here. And he'll smack down on the gavel.
With respect, this law is a sacred law, and it is important. But the menace already exists. What is vital is that the Garou who are here present, who are not menace, learn that it is not okay. And the importance of ensuring that we as Garou maintain a balance within our relationships. That is the key. Harming a menace who currently exists does not educate anyone.
But isn't given justice what a Philodox does, and where is the justice? And he'll click right over to the Pisa, right over to Latte with the biggest smile on his face. And where is the justice for them? He'll lean back and go, yeah, it's just a smile.
Joe will sort of look to see if it's okay for him to answer.
It's your job right now.
Okay, I'm just acknowledging that Joe is new to this, so he's just trying to make sure. Justice comes through the measurement of appropriate punishment. And
No, justice comes from an appropriate, as you say, response. Justice comes from things being done to make reparation and from things learning. Justice comes but justice does not come at any cost. If we do that, then we might as well burn this place around us. If we let the passions of the Fianna and the undying grievances of the Wendigo hold the nation captive, then burn it all, because that achieves nothing for us and nothing for Gaia. It is our strength, and it is the survival of us. Just killing randomly Garu because something goes wrong. He had a chance, and if those who they still feel aggrieved about the punishment, then they have the right to address the Philodoxes themselves and a right to seek further reparations if they do not feel the punishment has been achieved. They have a right to answers from the Philodox. They do not have a right to salt and whinge and continually snipe at each other. They do not have a right to disrupt all the missions of the Sept because they feel that they're going to whinge and their feelings are still hurt. If their feelings are still hurt and they feel that their punishments are not right, then there is a process and this is a moot and they can get answers. Simply hijacking this for your personal grievances achieves nothing here.
I would also add,
Marcus, wait. Talate, Tapisha, gain a rage point, please.
Yup.
Now continue. Anybody who thinks they should gain a rage point, by the way, Aiden, she just said that you're using this for your own.
Oh, I have my rebuttal ready and I'll take rage. Don't you worry.
Fusla, you gain a rage as well. Katya, you did not gain a rage. Marcus, you did not gain a rage. Tapisha, 10.0.
I'm fine. However,
oh God.
Yeah.
Tonight is a waning crescent moon.
Oh no.
Oscar, are you spending a little power?
Yes.
Okay.
Yay. Joe adds that I would also add with what my honored Raya shared, that this is why challenges also exist. And it is not just one tribe over another. It is simply that we must do what we must do in order to maintain a sense of unity within the nation. Joe adds.
A sense of unity. Aiden just smiles, gritted teeth. A sense of unity, aye. Through personal gain, I might add. So if the Fianna defending the Wendigo and the Uktena demanding justice is personal gain, that is a funny question, isn't it? I wonder if challenges are there, aye, but who has challenged each other? Who has done these things? We've all sniped at each other, we've all bitten each other, and then we all roll in at the last minute and go, oh, well, we should do that and do this. At the end of the day, we talk a big talk, all of us, aye. All of us. Including myself. I'm the best at it. But very few action has been taken, and after all, when the action is taken, the kinfolk nearly kill each other over what? A matter that should have been resolved quickly and quietly. But no, it wasn't. So, personal gain, no. I'm a traditional Garu. I do what's good for my tribe and what's good for the Sept. That's my judgment. He'll wink.
Right. And with that, Rowan is going to sort of stand up and say, the second tenet of the litany.
Just one little thing in between. Platina started playing the harmony flute. She got 1 success. Which basically means as long as she's playing, everybody can re-roll a frenzy check.
Okay, awesome.
Indeed, moving on. Second tenet. Combat the worm wherever it dwells, wherever it breeds. Do you have a problem with this one, Fool?
Your turn. Think thoughtfully. We have combated the worm. We have done these things. We have bitten through things. However, there is a bigger problem that we must face, but that is not a, well, the Weaver is there. The question is to everybody, what do we do? What have we done? There are,
Jack shit.
but this is the Weaver, isn't it? See, some of us advocate death for everything. Some of us advocate peace and we should negotiate. Some of us advocate everything. And then right up there, ladies and gentlemen, he'll point to that red star. Right up there, well, I think we all have an idea what that might be. Don't we? So the question is, to all of you, what the fuck are we going to do about it?
The tenet of the litany does not state what else we shouldn't fight, what other problems we may face. It simply states that we should combat the worm, and that the worm is always our enemy, and that if the worm is known, there are other problems, and I am not disputing that we do not fight other things, but we should not get so wrapped up in other distractions of the city or supernaturals or other things that go on that we forget what our Gaia given duty is. Our duty to Gaia, more than anything else, is the worm. Now, the worm is not only her adversary, but first and foremost, when we are distracted by the Weaver, when we are distracted by all the other things, it's the worm who wins.
And Katja, you smile. Endra and Oil, they're of the worm. My alpha took silver to the face. I have taken, lifts up his shirt actually, and shows his silver scars. Fred, the Bonar, one of your tribe, died fighting them. But yet we're still distracted. He mightn't have died if we weren't so distracted. He mightn't have died if we had handled the Weaver and handled these things, handled these elementals, handled everything. And that should weigh on every one of our conscience. That we allowed one of our Garu to die because we were distracted. You speak of duty, aye, but he kind of shrugs, you know.
Surely you have just reinforced my argument. Thank you.
He'll smile.
The third tenet?
Joe will clear his throat. And see, just a moment, please. I'm just trying to find the appropriate spot. No, wrong one. Let's see. Respect the territory of another. This for me, I have given a great deal of thought to, and I have come to feel that territory is not just a stationary place where one sleeps. It also means family. It means that which is sacred to a guru, something that is theirs. These are what an individual guru fights for, in addition to their duty to Gaia and Luna and the spirits. This is a person, place, or a series of things that give grounding to a guru. And when these things are attacked, not only does it create division, but it is another source of conflict and confusion that the enemy can exploit if we are not too careful. So we must honor always the sacredness of each individual guru and what is sacred to them. Because by honoring them, we honor ourselves and expect the same of those who fight alongside us.
Cub, that's a nice sentiment, but don't overcomplicate it. Respect the territory of another. We are Garu, we have tempers, we are wolves on the other half. It comes from a simpler place than all that. You respect the territory of another, but you respect what they can hold. Partly it's not about feelings, but it is about, and your idea of it not provoking conflict is right. We should not provoke conflict, but at the same time, you respect what people earn. It's not about what's precious to you, it's about what you can hold. If you choose to make it about your feelings, then that's frankly rubbish. We are wolves.
So feelings are rubbish. That's an interesting one.
Feelings are not rubbish, but that is not what that particular tenet of the litany is about. Making it so just makes justification for things. And he said he wanted to avoid conflict. Don't make the litany. That tenet of the litany comes from a simpler place.
Joe doesn't say anything, but he bites down in his lower lip. And Joe just looks to the fool.
The fool had a stroke. He is currently dying on the ground of the moot.
Unfortunately, I think his computer exploded.
How foolish.
Partly why your Raya decided to speak up.
Yup.
It's a lovely day for technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm. It's all right. None of us were flying British Airways today.
The members of the Children of the Spirit Wild can just hear Will being like, "Hurry up, pizza! Hurry up, pizza!"
Through the pack link, he'll definitely get the stinky eye from Tatahin. Like, jeez, be respectful.
He's teasing, and that doesn't really happen.
You know that Tatahin doesn't understand humor.
Yes, I am aware of this.
out of character, do we know if he's going to be able to come back or?
Yeah.
Or
He's
is,
working on it.
He said he's rebooting.
Yeah.
okay.
It's okay, otherwise we'll put Aiden out of his misery. We're doing him a favor.
Damn
Like
it.
he's a proud Fianna. He wouldn't
Right
stand,
here
you
in a
know,
world of
being.
wishful thinking.
You know, deep inside your Fianna Medi's heart, you want to kill a Fianna Hamid just to know what it feels like.
Oh no, not him.
Whoa.
I mean, no, never mind. No.
Not today, Satan.
Mhm.
I mean, come on, you know.
No.
You know you
No.
wouldn't.
I'm being respectful today. Just today.
Torno, welcome back.
Hey, Torno!
There we go. Sorry about that, guys. My computer just
man.
completely shut down. So
I have
You
a
fuck.
frosted ready.
You came back
Oh.
just to
You know.
argue why we should not respect the territory of another.
why we should not respect the territory of another. Okay. He would turn and look at Template and take out these oversized clipboard quite comically, and look at it, rubbing his chin a bit, going nodding, thank you, Mrs. Secretary, and all that, smirking at himself, and adjusting his belt buckle. Why we should not respect the territory of another? Well, one of us did that already, didn't we? One of us attacked somebody. I mean, we're all big wolves, right? We're all these people who demand things. We all storm up in here demanding what we want. What is the need for challenges then? You can answer me that question, Philodoxus. Why do we need territory? When technically the whole thing is Mother Arista's territory anyway. So why do we continue to disrespect it? So it's an interesting question, respecting the territory of another. When we break it on such a regular basis. After all, if we respected the territory of another, he smirks. This wouldn't be a boner set now, would it? He winks specifically at Katja.
Oh no, you did not. Oh no.
Thank you. I'm at 7 rage now.
What did he say?
Oh, I'm at 6.
What
Fuck.
did he say?
He said that if we respected the territory of another, this would not be a Bodnar recept, now would it?
Why would they take
Ooh.
rage for him pointing out something that they agree with?
Because this would be.
It's
This is
still a-
normally a Wendigo sept.
Yeah, but that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Mm,
Thank you. Somebody got.
Still,
Remember
bring it
what
up.
I
Bring up that topic.
Even
I'm
rem-
okay with not taking rage. That's perfectly
Yeah.
fine. But I'd say Fianna
Okay.
bringing up this subject is kind of like rubbing salt in the wound.
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm sure we'll have plenty of occasion to gain rage.
I mean, if you would like the rage, I could say what I could with it rolling around in my head.
Joe,
No.
Just
Joe
a second,
will sort of-
Katya.
Do it.
Katya, you were gaining your rage because he's basically saying Bornals are breaking Anthony by taking over the steps. So you are gaining your rage.
I mean, she was also going to say, I mean, the Bone Gnawers, we're in a city and it's the Bone Gnawers. So, I mean, territory here is more flexible, although the Lupus would argue. And surely the thing I said about territory before is the important point about territory is your ability to defend it.
Okay then. I will say it's cool. You don't need to be in it then. I wasn't here and you were talking about that.
No, it's okay. The point she did make was, she will say, like, surely unfortunately, I know you might not have been able to hear, but the territory is a simple thing, and it's important because of our anger issues that we have alluded to. But territory's only as important as those who care about it and those who hold it. It is important. The Lupus would state it so, and we need homes, we need things, It's our territory, it is not the Ratkins' territory. We need demarcations, but Bone Gnawers, we have less space. So I would agree with you. And the Bone Gnawers are practical in this, in that the world is squashing around us. Space is hard to come by, but you respect what space people can hold on to, what they can defend, what they have earned. If you can defend it, it's yours.
I would.
I actually agree with that. He's not in agreement. Very well spoken, gotcha. He smiled to himself.
I would also add to what Myraya says, if a challenge is needed, but a challenge is not at the onus of the person that needs the challenge. An issue cannot be resolved until an issue is made known in the proper way.
Okay, there's nothing further to say. He's happy with that.
And
Moving.
next, I think we're on 4 now.
We are. Accept an honorable surrender. There are times when we fight. There is passions that we have described and alluded to. We have Luna's given Grace her rage. It fuels us, but it, as has also been alluded to, is a curse. It can take us too far. We should not waste life where it doesn't need to be wasted. So strength and the right of the victor is important and what they have earned. But it is also important to recognize when someone has submitted, someone has surrendered, someone has admitted and accepted another's strength or dominance or anything such that has been earned over them. And in doing that, we preserve order, we preserve our nation, and we preserve lives, because earning things amongst ourselves is important. Challenges and such like must be resolved as you. So, as has been stated, but a needless loss of life, needless injuries, should not be accepted.
Comically look over at 10 Point and bring over the thing, look at her, nod, almost smiling to herself, But isn't life and death a part of it? In a way, isn't accepting a full strength, but isn't it in our blood, isn't it in our nature to rip things asunder, to destroy things? Isn't it when a foe is never going to relent truly, and that dominance is never going to really be there? Isn't it our God-given duty to give them a reminder? Or is that our weakness for not having the strength? The Gate of Fenris would tell us that we admire strength and pride and finality of that. My people do it. The Wendigo do it. In a way, isn't that finality what makes us truly Garrow? Because in the end, that fight might be our last thing that we have. Whether
Dying.
It's to the day. Oh, yeah, no,
Dying. Dying against the worm, dying against our foes, that is honorable. That when your strength fails you there, that is honorable. Dying or killing someone out of hand, what right do you have to deprive Gaia of a warrior? What right do you have to weaken our fight? And she'll look up at the red star in the sky for the future, for the nation. What right do you have to take that thing? Oh.
He'll smile then, one more time. But I ask you this. And he'll take a breath, look at 10 Point, look at his notes, and nod once. Did that Octenikin give an honorable surrender then?
Gain a rage point. Gain.
I am concentrating very hard on my flute play.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
please concentrate very hard. I have 7 dice now.
Yes. I keep playing. I have
Well,
concentration merit, so I'm-
it's a thrall. So yeah, thank you for the playing. I will
No.
I will roll
Fuck.
again. Can I roll
Jesus.
again?
Okay, you will roll again. That was a troll, but it's fine. You can roll again, please. Roll, please.
Yeah, I will roll again and have 7 successes.
No. No, you don't.
Oh
Yes! Oh God,
thank
yes!
goodness.
Oh God, yes!
I am so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
No, I've never been able to use the concentration merit. At this point, I'm using it full on, and I have never been so happy I bought that merit. Oh my God!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Joe will look to the fool and sort of look to the crowd to gain his bearings, and Joe gives a slight bow to his Raya in acknowledgement, and says, when, as has been stated before, the proper outcome for bad choices must be observed. What is key is that we learn from these mistakes, that they are not repeated. By not acknowledging an honorable surrender, you harm the nation unnecessarily. It is the right of every Garu to challenge when it is appropriate to do so. A reassertion of dominance is a natural event in every Garu's life. It is also a testing ground for the challenged as well as the challenger. Joe offers.
I think we should differentiate here. There are... No, let's not troll it up. But challenges and the ritualized combats that we go through, and surrender should be recognized. There are times it is not, and it is not their right or anyone else's right to take something from Gaia. But we could labor this point. Shall we move on?
Yeah, we shall. Smirking.
And the next tenant of the litany.
Yay, multitasking. Submit to those of higher station. For we Garu, the Raya, or Rayas rather, are teachers and leaders. They are a source of education. They are a source of leadership. It is appropriate to give them honor and acknowledge the service they have done.
nods, adjusts the gavel a bit, you know, strikes on his knee a bit. Aye, but how often do we readily apply it? How often do we actually go and say Raya, or give the proper salute to a Raya? You yourself, Cobb, you've shown disrespect. I think everyone in this single room, in the single area, you know, you would say, has shown disrespect to a Raya. How is that anyway justifying what we're doing? In a way, this is a small one, for it is so simple. When do we show respect to a Raya? When a Raya is wrong, do we not point it out? Or do we just simply watch as they lead us to cast and ruin based on their decisions? When is respecting Raya? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
A Raya has experience. A Raya has respect. To gain a rank here is not like in some human things. You cannot simply buy your rank. You cannot simply phone it in. You will have only gained rank through the spirits acknowledging your actions, through deeds you have done. Is it not right that we show respect to those people? They have more knowledge, they have more experience of dealing with things, or dealing with the things that we face. Surely the most important time to show respect, to show things, is it brings order to the chaos that we live in. It brings order to battlefields, so people don't just run off like headless chickens, thinking that they are scared, thinking that they can go do this or that, thinking that they can speak out of turn. You show respect because people have earned it, because they have seen more, they have physically done more. They have not just spoken with sweet words, they have not paid money, they have done things to get where they are. Are some places more relaxed in enforcing exactly how this appears? Of course they are. Look at this place. This is nothing like some of the other places where you go to. We do not ask people to bow and scrape. We do not ask more than people are due. But if someone has earned their rank, is it wrong that we acknowledge it?
Aiden will nod. In a way, Katya, you just proved my point, because if I remember correctly, 10 point, call her over and look at his notes. Then he just says jack shit about respect. In fact, it says the quite opposite. It says submit. So we submit to a Raya. Respect. Aye, it's get earned through battle, but a Raya is a Raya. I thought you would back my point up that. You smile.
Submission is a sign that they have earned it beyond words. Submission is important because you would default to them in battle. You would default to them in all things.
In addition, I would like to give honor to what the Honored Fool has shared. I have made errors in my beginning time here, and chances are I may make other errors in the future. But it is important that we learn from our errors and we make a stronger attempt to do better, to be of service not only to Gaia and the spirits, but to our Rayas and to our Sept. This is another way in which we show honor and respect by acknowledging our mistakes.
I think we have got off topic again. The next tenant.
Bueller. Bueller.
Yep.
Respect.
Yes, respect those of lower station for Orla of Gaia. This one is taken by others. It is meant to mean many things. But how it is important is to recognize that whilst we are Garu, whilst we are strong, whilst we might have higher rank amongst the Garu, we have kinfolk, there are other creatures on this world, those things that are not us, that do not have our strength, that do not have all of Gaia's blessings that we have, or all of the experience, if you are indeed a Raya, that you might have. And we should acknowledge them. They are part of Gaia. They have their place, as we do.
You think for the longest time, Aiden will. And you look over to 10 Point, smiling quite fondly, and it's probably really creepy to her, and he'll put his arm around her and look down at the notes, thinking, smiling to himself. Respect those lower in station. How often do we do that? I mean, we're the strongest of the strong. We are the Garu. We are the Gaia's chosen warriors. We are everything that represents the defense and the fight against the worm. What part of them deserves our respect? I might ask all of you. What have they done to earn it? We demand respect ourselves from people. We take it when we need to. In what way do the weak deserve it?
Do your kinfolk not provide you food? Do they not, as I have seen them do for many other Garu, drive them aimlessly around this city? Do the city and the humans not provide you with a means for communicating through your phone? Do the trees and the creatures of the earth, do they not provide you with food? Do they not clean the air? They have a purpose. They are not as strong as you. And we defend them. And through that, yes, we have the right to demand things of them. But we still have to acknowledge that without them, we are lesser.
Actually, Aiden doesn't actually agree, because he actually does agree with it personally, so it's like, I can't be arguing much against this. So he kind of just smiles at her, you know. It's almost like, I actually wholeheartedly agree with you, you know, that's the problem with this one. He smiles.
And the next tenant?
Cub, I will jump in on this one. The first share of the kill for the greatest in station, that ties back to the previous one of submission. Those who are the strongest, who have earned the most, they are our strongest warriors. They should be fed first. We need their strength. They have earned the right to the greatest part of the kill, and through their actions, through all the rest of it. But by also not giving them this, it would not be practical. We would weaken ourselves. Again, like the territory one, it is an older thing. It is to some archaic, but it still proves true. If we do not feed and if we do not show submission in that way, then, well, it would be foolish.
He'll nod and he'll, again, still arm around 10 Point with a smirk on his face, and he'll like even gesture towards her. This Metis here cannot fight very well, cannot do the things that normal Garou would. However, and he'll point at her, like lifting her chin up so that she scrunches, probably wincing in pain. She has demonstrated the willingness to fight, to kill, and she has done so quite well. I've seen it. Does she not deserve, when she makes the kill? And he points over to Talate. She also made a first kill in front of Oaths of Silence and myself over there, and we gave her the first kill. Isn't it not the one who shows the willingness? It is not simply the means, but it is the will. The training is nothing, and the will is everything. The will to act. Isn't that not what should be respected? The will to fight no matter what we do, no matter how weak, the will to strength and to survive. For strength, aye, they'll feed it. But if we are only feeding the strong, how can we raise the others to be strong again? It seems a bit hypocritical.
It does not say that others do not get a share. It simply states that the first share should go to the highest in station. If you or others made a call that someone else was more in need, if you were the highest rank and you recognized that someone else was more in need than you, then you could make that choice, but it is your choice to make. I, and she will gesture down to her leg, have my own weaknesses. I recognize that I am unlikely to ever be first to a kill. I am unlikely to get a first share. I, like them, as you say, am not perhaps the best fighter. I would not be considered the strongest, but I will respect the strength of others. I will respect their rank and their needs before mine. For if it came down to it and it was others to fight and I needed them to defend me, I would rather that they were the strongest that they could be than someone had given me something first when I am perhaps of less use than they would be.
And how can you do that when only the strongest survive? You know, smirk.
That is just Garou.
That is just Garou, he echoes, smiling.
And the next tenant.
Ye shall not eat the flesh of men. As I have come to look upon it, there are 3 parts to a Garou. These parts consist of spirit, wolf, and man. By eating the flesh of man, not only do we succumb to our enemy, but we weaken ourselves. We are the chosen protectors of Gaia and her treasures. Only you can decide whether we are strong protectors or weak protectors. This is why this law can preserve the strength of all 3 sides of the Garou.
Aiden will, again, probably tormenting shit out of poor 10 point and will read and he'll like do this mocking, look at her and will put on this kind of glasses thing on her basically, and like push her head forward into the piece of paper. So she looks down into it basically. And he will turn and look up. What about the wolves? What about these spirits who we kill to harvest gnosis? And sometimes, very sometimes, he'll say with this almost wicked smile, sometimes we get a little hungry, don't you? I know you do, big man like you. He'll smile.
Are you really arguing the only point of the litany that all of the tribes, barring generally the Red Talons, agree with? Are you really choosing this one to argue?
It is my job as a Ragabash to question everything, Katja. Same as your job as a Philodox, to provide the appropriate rebuttal. You smirk.
Of which I have one I would very much like to try on if my Raya has no objection, and Joe will look over at Katja Raya.
Katja will roll her eyes at Aiden and just gesture the cub forward.
With respect to the office of the fool and the Raya that holds it, hunger, other things are a very weak excuse for not acknowledging what is important. And I think would merit a much stronger punishment should this be broken, and if that were the excuse. You know what is right. And if you agree, my advice is go and get a pizza.
Says the man who ran away from Sep because of hunger. He'll smirk.
I have faced my addictions, and I will do right. I will make amends for my errors, as I've said before.
And what happens if those errors led to that? What would you do then, Philodox? He'll smirk because of your hunger.
Then I would accept the appropriate punishment. Be an example for any future Thordox, any future Garou. And in my death, I would still serve Gaia.
Well said. The next tenant.
The veil shall not be lifted. I think the fool will have a response, but this one is simply safety. Humans outnumber us. Normal humans, they should not know about us. They should never know about us. What do you think they would do if they did? This one is self-preservation. This one is perhaps one easily broken when careless, but is in the place like this even all the more important in a country where, well, guns are handed out like candy. And whilst a gunshot might not always kill us, a gunshot to the head, well, how many of you are going to get back up? How many of you think we won't be hunted to extinction like the actual wolves? So no, the veil should not be lifted, and the humans cannot know about us.
Okay, I think I'm back in. Yeah, there I am. Which thing were you on? Because I just got hangouts just booting me around like a madman.
It was on the veil shall not be lifted, and
Oh, the
Catch's
veil shall not be
argument
lifted.
mostly centered around the fact that this, there's hundreds of humans, and it is New York City, and it's America, so there are lots of people with guns. And do you really believe they wouldn't try and hunt us to extinction, like they have the rest of the wolves?
Yeah, I'll be in the silent about this one. This is probably one of the ones that he would fervently agree with. But he will say one thing about humans' eye. But in terms of that, and clock his finger up to the red eye. Perhaps in this case, we should form agreements with maybe the other supernaturals, the ones that we have good relations with, in terms of solidarity. But in terms of questioning it, the veil, he kind of spreads his hands. This is something that even a fool will not disagree on. He'll smile.
Next tenant.
The leaders shall not be challenged during wartime. This is, in my mind, a straightforward piece of the litany, in that during wartime, our resources as a sept and as a nation are spread very thin, and the enemy can utilize any piece of division to weaken our efforts in battle. It is during war that we must show the strongest sense of solidarity.
Whew. What was the last bit you said, Marcus? There, because fucking Hangouts just hates every one of us today.
Yes.
Okay. Let me. Which part did I lose you at?
I got lost on during everything should be used during war. I believe is what you said.
Oh, okay. Let me try and sum it up again. Although I really wish that I had a better memory. Basically, and this is only the short version. During war, the nation and the sept's resources are thin, and if we are fighting for any reason during this time, it creates an opening for the enemy, and we need our leaders to be at their strongest so that we can show the greatest amount of unity during these times.
And a nod, and again, smile over at 10 point, like pushing the head further down to the point where she's hitting the paper with her big gigantic glasses. And he'll turn. Following the leader is very important, aye? What happens if that leader is wrong? To quote, and a perfect example of this, the Man King himself. What happens if that leader, you're following him? That leader is wrong and leads you to fight with your brothers and sisters, to cause war among everybody, your own people. I know my packmate has suffered. I know people on the SEP have suffered. What would you do if you knew that leader was wrong? Would you uphold the litany? Or would you let your brothers and sisters die fighting each other when, as we've pointed out, the greater threat is right out there?
Joe will look to Kitchu to see if she has an answer to this before he says anything.
In a time of war, really there's two tenets that need to be said together. But in a time of war, we need one voice. We need a cohesive voice to go forwards. We need something to rally around, something to give us direction. That direction, yes, as you say, is sadly not always good direction. But by choosing to respect experience and strength and the recognition of the spirits in someone's advancement, we hope, and it should be, that our leaders, those Ryas above us, have the most knowledge to make the right choices. But if we have a million dissenting voices, all shouting, all saying different things, then that is only a strength for our enemy. But as a Ragabash, surely you know, whilst a leader should not be ousted, there should be a voice who can. Is it not your duty to, where appropriate, question someone?
But doesn't that play into submitting, in a way, when you think about it? If that is your Raya, and he tells you, this is my law, and you know your law is wrong.
You ask the
That's
questions.
the question.
If you ask the right questions, and he should answer you. And you should get answers. And maybe trigger him to think in a different way. That is your auspice. If you think he is wrong, you ask the questions. If he gives you a final edict, if he gives you a final decision and you have not successfully prompted him to, your Raya, to question themselves in the right way, then, and their ruling is still wrong, then yes, his ruling is wrong for being so. The outcome will determine it. Sometimes what you think is wrong may actually be a successful outcome. But if you truly believed something was different and you were not able to change or make your Raya at least think about what you were questioning, is that not your failing as a Ragabash as well?
Nod slowly, I suppose. And we did question, and look where it got us. You know, we went to the Amazon, and a lot of us died. So, in a way, is that what the right question? Cost us our lives? Or is that the question that gets us all killed? And that's the thing. Philodox. What is the right question? Was it right for all of us to go to that Amazon because of one person? Or many? Or was it the better thing to do what we were told? He'll kind of shrug. That's what I have.
I was not here. I cannot judge, or I will not stand judgment on this.
And the next tenant.
The one that goes with it then, the other flip side to the previous one, a leader may be challenged during any peacetime. Fool, as you said, it is important to be able to question someone. It is important that questions are answered, and that if a leader post a war has been proved to be making bad decisions, and you think that the consequences, and they did not listen to your questions, then there is recourse. When the immediate time, when the time for a single voice to direct the chaos of the Garu is over, when we have a pause in our constant fights, then leaders may be challenged. And if they are not strong enough and wise enough and quick enough to win the challenge, then they will be toppled. If they should be judged for actions they have been taken, if it needs to be brought to a Philodox afterwards, then that is the time to do so. Our system is not totally unfair.
And what happens if you're in the war and there is no time for peace? If you know in your heart of hearts that this is going one way, you know deep down that this fight is foolish. For example, we might be getting ready to go to war soon, if the thing is right. But When's that decision come down to it? When does war become everything? When is a leader good enough to be replaced? And if we wait till peacetime, it might be too late. Why not make the decision now and show that we are capable of reasonable thought?
The decisions that a leader must make in wartime are hard. If they are constantly looking over their shoulder, if they're constantly worrying about things and they're constantly questioning whether they will be followed, whether an order is going to be carried out, whether they will be challenged every minute for every hard decision they have to make, then how can they lead? We do not have to like all parts of the litany. Some of them are hard. Some of the decisions that our leaders make are hard. But that is the way it is. It is how we have survived. It is how we fight. It is how we can be effective.
And the next tenant.
Excuse me. Out of character, I just realized that
we've gone out of order. It doesn't matter.
It's fine.
Just
Yeah,
pick.
just keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
There's two left. Pick one.
Okay.
Oh.
Do not suffer thy people to tend thy sickness. Joe, upon reciting this part of the litany, gives a momentary gulp, but he resolves himself to speak. This law is important in its own way and should be thought of in each case as each case is being measured. It is vital that Garou know their limitations, and it is vital that at times, if we know there is no point of recovery, if there is no means for a illness or situation to be healed, it is better that we die honorably than to allow our brothers and sisters to carry sorry, I'm stuttering out of character. An unnecessary burden.
I would elaborate my cub's point just briefly. Sorry, fool.
Go ahead.
He is not wrong, but he misses a key point. The point is as we have all alluded to, death stalks us. Our lives are not easy. We are warriors. We need to be as strong as we can, as hard as we can, as fast as we can. We need to fight as efficiently as possible if to even have a hope of winning. And if she looks back up at the sky again, things like this are coming, then it is even more relevant that we do not have those who would weaken us. And it is each individual Garu's responsibility, which is an important part of this. It is not your friends or pack mates' responsibility to ignore you. if you are suffering, if you are limited, if you have some problem. It is your responsibility not to be a burden to them, not to cause them to have to be distracted from the fight, not to cause them to have to be looking back for you. It is your responsibility to to own up to your weaknesses, to do what you need to, so that others do not suffer for it, so that the nation and the fight does not suffer for it. I have my own limits, and I would never expect anyone to slow the fight down for me.
And Aiden will look at 10 Point, put his arm around her, and that little small shillelagh she's been making him, he'll take it in his hand and put it right down in front of the cub. Just thump. By that logic, then, you should have beaten him over the head with this the first time he ran away from Sept because of his weaknesses. By that logic, he should have been forfeit because of his weakness. Garou are a pack. We have always been a pack. We have always been together. The weakest member relies on the strongest member. We have always been together. A lone wolf dies on his own and will always die on his own. If we look up at the sky and go, charge in, let's leave the weak behind. Let's leave everything behind. Let's leave the ones who fall and sway, to fall into the worm, to fall into these things, then we are no better than a fool charging blindly into the darkness. I understand the logic, it's admirable. But without thought process, we're no better than stumbling sheep, hoping we'll one day become a wolf. But we Garou are as strong as each other, and that's why we build packs. Packs. And no pack is as strong as an individual member. They're all together.
No, but those wolves you allude to, when one is old, they go to the back of the chain. They all stay together, and they will often slow their pace to a degree. But if the need for food, if such things come, they will leave members behind. It is not because they understand survival is more important than any one individual. Yes, wolves are stronger as a unit. And yes, we should all fight individually to survive, but we need to recognize the individual responsibility in that and not rely on each other and weaken each other. I would be horrified if my weaknesses, if my injuries caused another to die for me. If I took a strong, fit Garou for Gaia was killed in the fight because they were trying to slow down for me. Could you look yourself in the face?
Could you look at yourself for not becoming stronger? You seem to go on a lot about your weaknesses. You seem to say, I am the only one who fights these things. I would never put myself in the line. I've noticed a lot of you do that. Could you look at yourself in the eye knowing that weakness because you did not rely on your brothers? You did not strengthen yourself with your brothers and sisters. Could you look at yourself in the face knowing that because you chose to bathe in your weakness, that they died trying to make you stronger again?
I do not bathe in my weakness. I recognize what it is. I will fight. I will make myself as strong as possible. But I know when the time comes, it is my responsibility to make myself strong. If I work with others if my pack makes me stronger, that is fine. If there is a way to work as a unit, but is my responsibility. And if it comes to a time when my weakness would be a detriment to them, then it is also my responsibility so that they do not have to bear that risk.
And the final tenet of the litany.
Ye shall not take any action that would allow a cairn to be violated. If any Garu was foolish enough to do things that were careless, to do things that would allow one of Gaia's sacred cairns to be violated, to allow what we fight for to be damaged, then they do not have the right to call themselves a Garu. And it is simple as that.
While waiting for the fool to speak, Joe will pick up the shillelagh that's been dropped and just hold it out in a respectful manner.
Right, which final one are we on again? Fucking hangout.
Do not let a cairn be violated.
Alright. This one, Aiden doesn't even look like he wants to argue. This one, he just kind of goes, like, he just kind of looks at Katya like, come on, I can't argue with this. You know what I mean? Like, Cairn is a Cairn. There's no way that fool would argue with violating a Cairn. That's stupid.
Agreed.
With that, we will conclude this. And now, there was a reason that I called this moot together, not simply to reaffirm our connection as Garu and our connection with the spirits of the land. The reason I've called forth this moot is right next door to us. In fact, it is also right above us, Rowan says as he looks up at the red star in the sky. There have been prophecies throughout our people's existence, spoken by Theurges more ancient, more wise than I. And in many of them appears this star, the cause of the red sky. The eye of the worm gazes upon us all, and it will gaze upon us, fueled with hate, until apocalypse comes, until we all stand against it in the final battle. But first, there are yet more things that threaten us. Our people, our ways, our world. Very long time ago, kinfolk of my tribe gazed upon a massive celestial body that fell to earth. It was worshipped at the time by naive humans as some godly visitor, but since then simply occupies a place in a museum. We fear that the damage done to our wards when it was stolen was enough to awaken what is inside it. And we fear a foe greater even than the Storm Eater this faced in years past. That is why my tribe has been behaving as it has been. We learned of this, and we are very concerned.
A man gets up. He is in Krenos form. There's a saber on his kind of like goes into front and looks for the bone to speak.
Rowan will acknowledge him.
He will take it from his hand fastly, and he will say, "Someone just break the litany. Someone just did not respect the territory of another. Someone violated the cairn."
Excuse me?
You knew. You said that you knew that this was there. It is in the protectorate of the sept. You did not respect the territory of another. You'd taken action to be violated.
The Utena tribe needed time to deliberate. We needed to decide on what to do with it.
That doesn't mean anything. You should have told us.
And led you all to your deaths.
That doesn't mean anything. You can just break the litany. Kind of looks around in the philodoxes. We have been learning about the litany. What does Philodoxus thinks right now about this? 10 point? 10 point.
10 points here? What? She ain't a Philodox.
No, roll your perception code.
Perception occult?
Yes.
1 second.
Okay, while we're doing that, the one ever looks at Katya.
Roll damage.
I see if I have trouble hearing some of what's just been said.
Okay, but basically, one ever said
Sorry.
that the Rowan did not respect the territory of another. Rowan did not, he violated the cairn, and he said, yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Okay. She will turn to Rowan. Did you know of this risk? You knew of this risk and did not give any warning to the sept?
I did. The Utena tribe had to think of a course of action before we simply begin doomsaying. Drive the nation to a frenzy.
Course of action is not acknowledged by the litany.
You asked for my opinion. I have further questions. Did you say you knew something? Did you know, even if you were waiting to give details, do you not think it might have been appropriate to make people aware that there was something, some kind of threat, so they could have been on alert?
Are you not already on alert?
That is always the case, but with so many things on this sept, as one who has been here, you surely are aware that having specifics is important, because there are many things bombarding this sept at any one time.
We were unsure what would happen if other Gru were to interfere, were to go near it, touch it, send spirits after it. We would not want to hasten the process of whatever it's doing.
So you felt it was necessary to gather more information. You felt the risk was not imminent. Is that what I am understanding? That you needed to know more, and you deemed the risk that the Garu others could present to it more significant than the imminent risk to the Sept.
Yes, this is the specialty of my tribe. We are the ones who deal with such things.
I am simply seeking clarification between all the many words that everyone is throwing. You are right, it is your specialty, and you would have the most knowledge. Would it perhaps not have been wise to still, say, have at least alerted the keeper of the land, if no one else, as they are the most in tune with the wards and the spirits of the Sept and the surrounding area?
Perhaps, but this was the decision of my entire tribe. I am but one Guru.
The sky was red.
Excuse me. Could I speak?
He gives the bone to Clutter.
I do not know of the secrets of the older brother. There are many, and I am younger brother. It's not my task to know. I am, however, a theurge. We've all had dreams, and most of us acted upon it. We knew this. We were, in a way, informed. Also, I would like to point out that Mother Larissa specifically told us to leave the Uktena tribe to their business. I am pretty sure that she knows, as she is a legend amongst our people, and would not have told us to let Uktena deal with this for as long as they had if she did not have the wisdom to say so.
Katja will nod in taking in Talate's words.
Apart from this, any theurge could have done as I did and go to this horned snake, ask for clarification. We all have a responsibility.
In this, then, I think it is more important to hear what they have found to decide what we are going to do.
The Everett goes for the bone again.
Aiden interjects and stands up very calmly and looks at Rono specifically. You know, as a fool, I would agree that right now the history of the Sept, the people of the Sept, is critical. This is the point, I think, where the doom of the Sept may be here, depending on which road we take. Raya's, honored Yoffs. I say we let Roanoke explain their Uktena. If the Alpha knew, we need to hear this, no matter what the decision is. Let us not fight each other for a change and actually hear what might save the Sept nation
Agreed.
before everything else. And he'll just nod at Roanoke and specifically, you know.
And Zlatin will hand the bone to Roanoke and not to the Fianna. I've got his name.
The Von Everett will actually start going near the Roanoke for the bone.
Roanoke will hold the bone and he will initiate a stare down.
If Fiona will not initiate, he will just say, "Go and explain yourself. You're being judged by me."
Roanoke will nod, and he will take something out of his jacket. What looks like the skeleton of a snake. And he will hold it very closely before saying, "There is one of my tribe who greatly surpassed me, one who lived in this very sept. I believe his words will carry more weight than mine, as I left when I was a foster." And Rowan will begin crumbling the skeleton of the snake in his fingers. And as the dust of the bones slowly fall to the ground, a spiritual, ethereal figure will appear, first from the paws, and then slowly raising as it takes on a distinctly lupus shape. And Roanoke will step back and place the bone in front of this honored ancestor spirit.
Hey, what am I here? He looks around.
Roanoke will look to him and he will say, "Scholar of the Abyss, Raya, the thing within the meteorite in the museum, we must have your wisdom on it."
As he starts to scratch himself with his back leg. Have you guys become difficult again? As he looks at everybody. And Moosh, just give me a precision. Is he in Krynos?
He is in Krynos.
Yeah, he looks at him. Why are you in Krynos? But this was a mood, not a hand wrestling match.
Ancestor, he speaks in the spirit tongue. If you think that my appearance is suspecting, I will go and take the shape of Han.
He will smirk. I don't know. Do you think that would offend me?
I have no idea.
Good. Good. We're on a good start then. So, ask your questions. What do you want to know?
The Guru of the Sept of the Green have just now been made aware of this threat and just how dire it is to our people.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure they have understand how dire it is. They're all. I've seen what happened. He will look around on everybody, just give a nod to the person who keeps rolling over. Has to stop rolling over. Right, so does anybody know what's out there? As he points his muzzle to the sky. What is beyond? I take your silence as a no. So, it's beyond space. I thought you homies knew that. It's a shame. As he shakes his head. A thing, it resided within a meteorite. Some of, well, as he looks around, well, I mean, you're not really old enough to know that. But we, in my days, as he puffs his chest, we repelled something that was called the Leviathan. He came through the same means, through outer space. This is a creature of pure abyss and oblivion. It is a being that, well, doesn't belong here. Doesn't really belong anywhere outside of the darkness. But you're lucky. It's just a cub. It's young. Oh, it's very young. It hasn't reached its full potential, so, well, even if I like to say so, that's not gonna help you very much. Because it's still dangerous. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it's dangerous. Probably, well, I haven't heard the full story of the Amazon, but let's say he's not as much of an egomaniac as the other was. Pretty much he wants to end everything, destroy everything. He wants to eat because he's hungry, you see? He's so very hungry. Wants to feed, you see? Feed on reality itself. Feed on the patterns. Feed on the spirits. Speed them back. Speed them back into the service of the worm. He is a champion of a sort. He wants to claim it all for its father, the worm. As he points towards the sky again. Now that's the moment where I tell you, look at the stars, and they will answer you. Well, unfortunately, the stars are not very talkative right now. They're kind of scared. But, well, you know, when you ask the right questions, when you know how to ask them, should I say, as my tribe does know how to. Well, it's gonna hatch soon. You have 1 month, at least. And, well, you're gonna have to work fast. Because if you don't learn its weakness before it has, well, fully grown, fully developed, well, it's gonna be pretty crowded, the tribal homeland. And not that we don't like you guys, but it's already very crowded. So, you know, take a ticket. That would be great. Know that this, as he once again points at the red star, that's not your job. It's not yours, as he points to Talate. It's not yours, as he points to Katya. And it's not yours either, as he points to the Fianna. It's not your job to do it. It's up to the legends. The legends will deal with the star. The Abyss Child is big business enough for a Sept to deal with. Any questions? I like my silence audience. I missed it. As he turns to Rowan and Talate. You know that feeling when you know better than anybody? Oh, I've missed it so much.
Rowan just smirks a little.
As does Latin. She'll get up as she had rolled over when Katori came on. She'll say, where do we find the answers?
Oh, that's a good one. Where do we find answers that we need? Well, where do you think the answers come from?
I do not know.
All right. I will give this one for free. Because I like you. So, if you want to look for answers, you should look to the rock and to those who try to take it. They must have answers if they want to take the rock. They must know what they have to do about it. When you're not sure about
the answer.
Yes, but when you're not sure about the answer, it's always good to ask about someone who knows it. Then you grab them, and you beat the crap out of them until they give you the proper answer.
She'll nod. Thank you, Raya.
You will nod.
Honored Spirit, before you go back to our tribal homeland to rest, greatest wisdom we can ask. What should our next step be?
Oh, Rowan. You sure know how to tame the forgotten, but, you should listen a little bit more, just like I told you. Be aware of Malpheus and Bator and the bushes. As he shakes his head. As I said, and he turns to everybody, find its weakness and be ready when it acts. So, fear, just do what you do best. And if you feel inspired, well, you better work on finding new spirits to build contracts with and make new talents. You're gonna need it.
Yes, right.
Thank you. Scholar of the Abyss, Raya.
As he nods. Well, as he stretch his paws. I'm gonna go back. Take care of the bear shrine. As he looks at Rowan. At least before you leave.
Of course, Raya. And
it'll go on as pretty much he will say good luck. You're gonna need it, guys.
And as the ancestor spirit trots off, Roanoke will nod to the sept. I hope that was sufficient.
That was not sufficient at all. That doesn't explain your actions that caused the breaches of the litany. The sky was red. I challenge you for a duel. And he pulls his sword, his saber.
Fine, I accept. But when I win, you leave. Don't come back here.
The challenge starts immediately after the verbs are done. Shelby, what was the Rowan's choice of weapon?
What's that? Sorry?
What was the Rowan's choice of weapon?
Rowan's choice of weapon is actually going to be his claws as he shifts up into Krynos form. His clothes melting into his body and the many strange vials and leather knickknacks hang off of him.
The Roanoke and the Emir von Everett will start fighting. As everybody will see, this is a fight between two astronauts who has seen a lot, who has seen a lot of things. But there's this, while the fight is going on, Rowan is giving everything he has to fight with Everett, but nearly every attack has been parried by his sword. He's trying his hard. He caused him one time. It was able to scar him, but he realizes that was another mistake that Everett kind of let him do. Everett slashes his chest as Rowan falls on his knees. And we stop there. Anybody who has politics higher than 2, please roll for politics. 10 points, you had 1 success, right? Fady?
Pardon?
You have 1 success in your perception report, right?
Yep.
I need to roll the perception report again.
God damn it.
I'm sorry. Does it have to be perception, politics, or can law?
I don't think politics is a well for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Garu lore is also cool. Shady.
Oh, Garrelor. Sweet.
Your
Okay.
visions is hitting you like it never did. The change is happening right now.
Like
And
right as Rowan drops?
the second he didn't die. He just he dropped because he took a hit. And whatever raised his sword and he looks towards the Garu to take yes or no. But at that time it's happening.
Two successes for Garrelor.
I'm sorry. Could someone please roll me 4 dice?
Yeah, sure.
Anybody who has 2 successes on Garu lore. The Von Everett is a Fianna noble, and Rowan is an Uktena This is the ramifications of this can hurt a lot of people. One would
I mean,
Yeah, Aiden will kind of take a step forward and go, Raya, mercy is probably the advisable option here. To go through with this will have ramifications for all of us, not just the Octen and the Fianna.
yeah, I mean, it's not like the Wendy Galliard with 7 dot of rage is sending up.
Yeah.
With
Aiden will just be very calmly, hands spread, bowing still, showing acknowledgement and all that, but still looking up.
Yeah, Moosh.
What's up, Katie?
I'm readying an action, essentially. If he looks like he's going to drop that sword, I will spend a point of rage to get under it.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else doing? I said if anybody has 2 successes on intelligence or the ramifications of this can hurt everybody.
Yeah, Katya will step next to Aiden and she will just simply say, we said the litany before. You wish to punish him for the litany, but you would break it yourself. There is an honorable surrender.
Raya, even Stag would lower his head if you struck this blow.
He throws his sword to the ground. He looks at the cleats and sees their wisdom, turns his back towards Roanoke and starts leaving slowly.
Aiden will actually extend a hand to Roanoke.
Roanoke will snarl at Ulrich, but he will take Aiden's hand.
You'd say, firmly, enough blood has been spilled, Raya. I think tribes, we should stop fighting and concentrate on what the elder said.
For now.
Take a step back and take a long breath, like, whew.
Katie, you're feeling like things are getting settled.
And Rowan, you know the feeling of a Gru that is seething with rage. That is Rowan right now.
Oh, hi, Rowan. You want to join the 7 Rage Club?
Yeah, Aiden kind of look at Katya, like, whisper, I think we better wrap this up quickly before we don't kill each other.
Agreed.
Cracking the bone isn't finished. Do any more of you have business you need to handle with each other? And he'll look forward. He'll look towards Will and Katya. The 2 of you finish that.
We will.
Mm-hmm.
And she will turn to if Will stepping forward, she will hand him the bone.
Who would it
Joe holds out a hand.
Does anybody else?
Sorry, Joe will actually hold out a hand.
Yep. Does anybody else as well?
Oh, sorry.
No, Aiden doesn't.
Yeah, through the pack link, you gotta pinch.
Will goes over and hands the bone to his packmate.
She takes the bone as she looks. She looks at everyone. Right. We got amazing conversations around here. That's great. Top-notch conversations. I'm gonna say something to everybody here who talks about Schrödinger Medes, who belong and don't belong. who talk about how this is Garu business. Yeah, it's Garu business. And guess what? Kinfolk died. And does anybody know his fucking name? Does any one of you bother to know it? It's all about, oh yeah, Kinfolk died. Congratulations. Congratulations. We know more about the name of Metis. It killed him, rather than his own name. Well, I'm gonna tell you a story. And since I have the boat, then you're gonna listen to it. You're gonna know his name. He was a Dahiloclear. He was the eldest of a family of Yanakin. And he had 6 younger brother and sister when his own mother, an Adrian Philodox of an old wild heart, passed away shortly after his father. He was studying politics. You know why? Because he wanted to help the Sept. He wanted to protect the rights of natives. Wanted to protect the green. He wanted to become a filmmaker. And now he leaves a family of brothers and sisters who have to mourn because nobody was there to defend them. Because we forgot each and every one to watch for our kinfolk. Watch for them. Should all remember that name. And also remember the name of all the kinfolks that are around you. They're not just your property, they're people. Should all remember that. And not just say the kinfolk died. They had fucking names. She will look at everybody, still looking at the bone. Also, I got a thing or two to say about family, about Pax. I'm happy that at least somebody found a great family to hang out with. I'm happy that someone learned from the past to live a new and happy life. That's great. At least someone has learned from his time passed among strangers. No. Well, know to recognize their true friend where they are not there when it's your time of need and that your family is there. And in the end, you're free to acknowledge or excuse or even refuse. Refuse excuses through a right of contrition that was proposed multiple times. I'm happy that you found a family tamer of dragon. I hope you live a happy life. And she will throw the bone back at William. I'm done.
Will catches it. Yeah, looks clearly affected by her words. He's been looking at Aiden the whole time.
Aiden gestures for the bone if we'll have it. Fuck it. Yeah, hold out his hand. Glaring at Pisa.
Will goes over and hands it to him.
Takes a long breath. It's a shake. To Pisa. My time wandering around friends was learned. My time among your people was well respected. I've no disrespect towards you, I never did. And you chose to air out this business in a moot. That is your decision. But it was the actions of others, and a howl which cast war among my people and brought promise against my people. And you know all about family. We know all about family. A kinfolk died, kinfolk were threatened. I made my decision.
Yeah, fuck it. Latine is gonna take a rage for that. She's never fucking threatened kinfolk. At least she doesn't think so. Others may have a different opinion on that.
Bijstervik is eating popcorn at the moment. He's like watching everybody raging.
She only has 3 successes. She's good.
Yeah, congratulations. Actually, now I'm wondering if Tornai's still there.
Tornai.
No, he's not there.
very, very funny, John.
I mean, I think we can all agree that this hangout is fucking like.
Fuck. Okay, now that the dramatic pause has ended.
Yeah, but it all fucking has dramatic pause.
Takes a huge breath in of air, his chest pumps out and shit. Yeah, I'll just type it up that way, you know, in terms of description wise. But to you and all your people, and you glare right at William and then fix right at Talate, you treated me no more than a menace, not worth looking at under a heel under a boot. And for that, I made my decision, and he thumps the bone right back into William's hand.
Sorry, I missed what was just said. I was booted.
You treated me like a menace under your boot, and that I cannot allow. And he thumped the bone back into William's hand, and will stand there verbally seething in rage.
Will goes up to catch it and gives it the bone, and then puts his hand out to take the bone back.
You wish to speak?
Will nods.
She'll hand it to him.
Turns and looks at Aiden. You're a liar. You blame us leaving your pack on us. You say it was Talate's actions. You said it was my actions. The truth is, you planned to go weeks before any of that. We tried to apologize. We offered rights of contrition. We went out of your way to help you with your rissions, and you threw them back in our faces. You scorned us, and you made us humiliate ourselves. And then when you left, you offered me your hand and said, we can still be friends. No, we can't. You betrayed us and then left our pack in shambles through your actions, and then swanned off, not taking any responsibility for them, and then blamed us for what happened.
Great.
Spending willpower. Spending willpower. Spending willpower. Spending willpower.
Joe extends his hand.
As does 10 Point.
Will hands it back to Katya.
Katya looks between the two of them and then hands it first to 10 Point.
Joe will bow in acknowledgement of this.
Then 10 Point will give him a light little head bob, just because at least he's being polite about being superseded. Raz, with all due respect, an apology does not erase a misdeed. And an apology given when an action is repeated is all but negated. The better step is to perhaps not make the offenses in the first place. I do not know what happened within your pack besides what I have been told. But if this is where he felt he was at home and where he felt he was welcomed, then what right do you have to be angry at him for taking the choice that makes him happy? Better yet, if your pack is so unstable that the loss of one who was uncomfortable and unhappy there in the first place tears you apart, perhaps you should look inward rather than outward. And she'll offer the bone back.
Roll rage. Child of the spirit, wild. Roll rage.
Oh, here we fucking go.
I'm going to 8 now. Fuck.
How
Robbie.
many roll?
Oh
6
shit.
successes, let's roll.
What's the difficulty? Sorry, tonight.
Oh shit.
Sheldon?
Tonight is a crescent moon.
So it's 7.
Tonight is the night that my entire pack is gonna throw, probably.
Yeah, it's 7 for everyone else.
70.
-1 if you are a Theurge, -1 if you're in Krynos.
I only have a fail, so I will spend the willpower to not frenzy.
Robbie, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is enough for you to spend willpower.
It's 4.
Oh, okay.
I have 4.
You
Oh, sorry, I
guys
thought
are
it was
not-
5 for Thrall. Is it 6?
You guys are not in Credence, right?
Oh wait,
No.
yeah.
Okay. Anybody frenzies? I can't count everybody's dice, but I'm gonna count it.
I'm spending
Damien,
willpower.
Damien, do you spend willpower, bro?
I think Damien is out.
Oh yeah, okay. We will ask him when he comes back.
I'm pretty sure he will.
Damien, I can't hear you, my friend.
Oh, Damien, reload.
Yeah, he's spent willpower, he said.
Ew. Hello.
Well, I can hear
Yes,
you.
we can hear you.
Yep, we hear you.
Yep. Okay, bud.
So after 10 points speech, what does people do? Like nearly everybody is getting angry, but they don't frenzy. Everybody spends their willpower. 10 point. I think you gave the bone to Katya.
Katya will simply look at all of them and say, unless this is going to be aired as unless someone is going to bring a grievance to a Philodox or make a challenge, I think perhaps those who are part of it directly have aired their views. I do not think more can be achieved here other than heightening tensions and any more. So I give this one chance to those of you who are directly involved. Do you wish to bring some case or do you wish to make a challenge? If not, we will move on and you can deal with things in a more personal and appropriate place from now.
Yes,
Platine will hand out.
No, go on.
She'll stop. No, she'll stop.
Yeah, Will steps forward. I challenge Agent Lynch for insulting and honouring my pack to a duel of honour. Although I believe he has none.
Aiden gain a rage.
No,
Aiden is not
she
here,
hasn't
man.
stopped. Yeah.
Oh shit.
In that case, if we still have some time before he returns, yeah, Platine will ask for the bone next.
Uh, she will hold it very sort of gently to her, but then sort of not release it immediately. Are you doing one of those two things? If you are simply to voice more grievances in words, if they are not those things, then they can be done somewhere else.
It's great that you immediately expect that of me. No, I do neither of those, but I wish to clarify the exact reason why I wanted to perform a rite of contrition. I think since it has been voiced here, but it's not been voiced why, that might clarify some things.
Again, Joe will bow at the acknowledgement of this and having his head ignored again.
Katya will turn to Joe and just say, when these issues are resolved, as they are an ongoing continuation of the same thing, then you will get your chance to speak, Cub.
Joe
And
gives
she
her
will
one.
offer the bone to Talate and just say, I will give you this, but think of your words.
I
Be
am not a
mindful.
cub that you need to address. I would suggest the same to you, Veldox.
She will tip her head slightly, but she will still meet her eyes.
Oh, you can go in and stare down if you wish to.
She's not
She's
trying
not
to stare down, but she is just, she tips her head, but she is still like, she's holding her ground, but she is acknowledging it. And she does hand it to her.
When I made the howl, I was angry. As angry as I am now. I tried to maintain composure. But despite my deformities, I am Garou. And rage burns in us. I recognized the error of my ways in this. I had already offered a rite of contrition.
Okay, what did I miss?
To
20 seconds.
I already offered a rite of contrition to Jacob Raya for hampering a situation, making it more difficult. I wanted to offer this to Stag. And to my packmates. I understand the wrongness of my words. She clearly has trouble saying this right now, especially in front of such a... Actually, fuck. Oh, and since I already said it, I will spend the willpower to say that. Because compulsion. Fuck, I'm burning through my goddamn willpower this way. I recognize the error that I made. Many of us make mistakes. And I've seen this Sept with more forgiveness than any of us would give. Maybe individually. At least I know the Wendigo would not be as forgiving as this Sept has been so far. However, when I try to apologize, there is no way that I can apparently make up for it. And I wonder if that is because I'm a Metis, or if there is another reason. There's a reason why my rite of contrition would be denied, which is an insult to any Garou, and to any spirit. That is all I have to say about it. She'll Yeah, she'll hand the bone back.
Katya will take the bone.
So Torna, Will basically, when the issue was said, kind of bring a challenge or let things lie. Will said he challenges Aiden basically to a duel of honor.
Duel of honor. He'll look at Katya. You're the father docs. If I set the terms of challenge and issue override it.
If you accept his challenge, then that is how things go.
I accept his challenge.
And what would your terms be?
Will's in a rune. I'm not a fool to fight in a rune single combat. I challenge you to a trick of the mind, a riddle. William might solve this riddle. And you're worthy. He'll smile.
Will rolls his eyes. Aiden Lynch talks about being a traditional Garu. Would you not prefer we do this the traditional way?
You think you want to race?
Traditional Garu. Fuck it. He just slams the gavel down and strips off. You want to fight me? Fuck it. And he spits right at William's feet. I challenge you to single combat. Whoever submits first wins.
Terms are set.
Fuck it. He just shakes his head,
I will remind you both, because the emotions are high. The term is set at submission, not death.
Joe looks almost pained. Joe's face has this really pained look on it. He, by facial expression, wants to ask the hired Thordox a question, but he bites his lower lip because he feels something has gone wrong here, but he can't say it yet.
Will is going
To Katya, this is normal process and procedure. She is not paying attention to the cub at this point. I am really sorry. She will simply state restriction on forms. If you are not willing to kill each other, wishing to kill each other.
Just remember, whoever submits wins. He winks.
Will nods and is going to take his time in the moments before the fight to shift to Glabro.
Aiden will shift to Glabro.
Hold on.
Right.
We use the XPs that the XPs has approved, but we're using the old.
Can't hear Mama-chan.
Pardon?
Can't hear
We
you, mate.
can't hear you.
We can't understand you.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's better.
We're not using the XP spends.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
The only thing Katya will do is she will make sure that everyone stands clear of them. She is moving everybody back. And she will remind the crowd that this is a duel between them and that others should not involve themselves.
I believe you're going first, Torna.
Okay. Aiden
Yeah.
drops to the ground. Aiden drops to the ground. I submit.
Okay, that confirms what I was going to ask.
Yeah. Will doesn't look like he wasn't completely wasn't totally not expecting this. Walks over, puts his boot on his throat. I accept your submission.
I win the challenge. Winks and gets up, dusts himself off. smiles. I'm a Ragabash, Will. Traditional Ragabash.
Will looks over at Katya. And yeah, the realization dawns on him.
Will Aiden still stays in grabber in case Will loses his shit, but he kind of just backs slowly up towards Template and the others, smiling ever so sweetly.
With Duel of Honor. I don't believe he's shown that.
Taking a rage.
And Will just shrugs and walks back.
Will, you can choose to have your feelings, but he won this duel.
Did I
He
say
is correct. I'm not disagreeing with that. All I would state, as is often the case with these things, opinions are rarely changed, but this matter between the two of you, it does not have to be, you do not have to be best friends. That is not what is required of you. You can keep your grievances, but you have had your opportunity to challenge. And
I'm aware, Philodox.
I will challenge the Philodox residing with this challenge.
Talatahin, I challenged him to a duel of honor.
Will.
He showed he had
Yes.
no honor.
And the Philodox agreed to it.
Von Everett will step forward and he will say, Katya Smith, you have been challenged by the Metis final right. Give your terms.
I accept. You don't have to like everything I do. You don't have to agree with every judgment I make. I am Garu. I stand by the words that I make. And either what strength that I has proves I am right, or I am proved wrong. And that is the way that we are. But either way, this situation will be put to bed, and we will cease sniping at each other.
Please, choose your terms. Von Everett says that, like, dismissive tone.
Then combat. It is, in my eyes, the truest form of truth. But as I said before, life should not be risked.
I agree.
So either the first one to knock the other into unconscious, or the other one submits. You have a choice.
The Von Everett looks at the latte.
She's thinking. Make it either. Either submission or knocked unconscious.
Often if one chooses not to submit, they then become unconscious, and that is a submission of itself. Would you not agree?
Yes, I do agree. This is why I said either.
If you agree that, then we shall take submission.
Very well.
But it is submission dealt. I am not a Ragabash. And I am not a Fianna.
I'm glad you're not.
And I would ask for one final thing. Seeing as we are going, as before, said we are not going to go for life. And you are, after all, a Metis. I would argue that war forms perhaps are inappropriate here. But I will.
I wasn't planning to go anything outside of Hamid. You can go Glabro if you want. I understand that you are.
I am a Hamid, and that it would only
vulnerable
be.
in Hamid than I am.
Then it is agreed on Glabro. She turns to the others. Do you object?
I don't. Says Vanavar. This is a challenge. The terms has been decided. No one will aid from the outside. It ends in submission or unconsciousness. Stand and fight. Roll initiative.
We're really crappy at initiative, both of us.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I got 8.
I got
No, wait.
I got 9.
No, actually, so I know still 8, yep. Because there's no dex bonus. So yes, you go first.
Okay, and we fight in Glabro?
Indeed.
I don't want to fight in Glabro, but sure. Then, yeah, let's just go for a fucking regular punch because hell knows I can't fight. That's. Wait, sorry. Oh, I failed. It's gonna be hilarious.
The Tlate tries to lunge and claw as far as I can see. And he fails. It's the turn of Katya.
Oh, and she'll spend how much rage did I get? I was at 8. Fuck it. She'll blow 4 rage.
Okay.
How can?
As far as I know, we can spend half of it. Half of the.
You spent half of current or total, as far as I've.
Yeah, it's half of permanent or temporary.
It's half of your permanent, not your.
No, or temporary.
Or temporary. Okay. At least that's what Duncan said.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I heard from him as well. That's why she needs an off.
Okay. Yeah. Katya will also just go for a swing at the minute. She has also not got great combat stats.
You say that.
I'm rolling the same number of dice.
Yeah, this is true.
But she gets 3 successes.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Sorry.
3?
Yeah.
Which means 2 plus 2 plus your current strength. 4 plus your strength.
Why? So yeah, it's 2 plus my current strength, right?
Yes. Your claws do plus 2 as well.
What?
As far as I know.
Incarnos, right?
Let me check.
I'm fairly sure you can make a claw attack in Glabro.
Yeah, no, yeah, but I thought that it didn't do plus 2, but I might be mistaken.
Claws and Glabro do plus 1, and they only do lethal.
Okay, then plus 1. So it's like 3. If you had 3 successes, it would be 2 from your successes.
Okay, so I need to roll basically 1 more dice.
1 more die, yeah.
Which is a success, so that's 3 successes.
And I'll roll my stamina. I just realized that I rolled a die to not never mind. I forgot one die in my 2 hits, but I'll remedy that. Soak. So
Okay, soak, I believe.
and do you spend rage?
Did you soak anything?
I
She-
soaked everything.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry, I didn't
And then
hear
some.
that.
Oh, sorry.
How many rage do I actually have? I will spend 2.
Okay. Rage round 1. That is 3 successes. Mm. Mm. Mhm. God damn it, I keep missing it. And that is 2 to hit. 2 damage. Sorry, 2 lethal.
Okay. I soaked 1. So took 1.
First blood.
Yeah.
Did you spend any rage,
I spent 2.
please?
If I go to grapple her, I know this has changed.
Yes. You roll strength roll, and
Yeah.
she can get a dodge or strength roll or dex roll as a free roll.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a grapple to try and initiate a grapple on her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's
Jesus.
7 successes.
I can't even break out of that. I don't even need to try.
Okay. And you are being grappled.
Yeah, because I don't have enough dice for that. So my second rage action will be to try and break free.
Exactly. Please roll your strength roll. And you will also roll your strength roll, and
Yep.
Damn you once. Only got 2 successes. Yeah,
One,
no
yeah.
grapples.
Yep.
it is the
Does
turn
grapple
of
not do
Ashley.
strength damage anymore?
It
It
actually
does now, right?
Yeah,
It
It doesn't
didn't.
do
Yeah.
an initiating, but now you can do damage.
Yeah. So yeah, she will attempt to just do
That-
damage to try and knock you out.
You can bite as well while in grapple.
She's in Glabro. She's not trying to bite her. She's just trying to basically bear hug her and like choke her out.
You don't
Okay.
want your mouth full of meta shit. Ew.
Well, also just got the wrong head on for biting. She's just trying to squeeze you. She doesn't also want to like. Yeah.
Bite attacks do lethal even in armored.
Mhm.
Yeah, but still, like she's.
Okay, you did.
You're a boneyard. Don't act like you're a clean person.
You soak the damage. She only did 2 strength damage.
Okay. So that was your second rage round. So
Yeah.
third one is mine. I'm gonna try and break free again.
Resisted roll.
I botch. Never mind. God damn it! What's my life?
He falls to the ground as Anne is on top. Anne's character Katya is on top.
You have a 4th rage action. I can't do it. I don't have a 3rd
Oh,
one.
yeah, right. Yeah, I'm gonna try again. I guess this time at a higher diff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, god damn it.
Plus your difficulty?
Plus how many?
2.
Okay. Nope, I fail.
top of the initiative.
Mm-hmm.
That would be you.
Oh shit! Sorry, I'm not used. I'm not used to having the higher initiative. Yeah, trying to break out again. I got 3 successes this time.
I have 4.
Oh god, this can take a while. And I'll spend 1 more rage.
Okay. Yeah. I guess if she's like been holding you down, she will. Oh. Can she theoretically attempt to sort of try and throat you? Just she's not. Yeah.
I guess.
That sort of tries to force it. I mean, it's weird. Like she's human, so I don't think that makes sense. Oh no, I'm still gonna go with Hug of Doom. We'll try one more Hug of Doom.
Hug of Doom. Yeah,
I mean, my strength is not great, although that is 3 successes this time.
Very nice. I only soak 1, so I take 2.
more bashing.
And then she will spend 1 rage.
Okay, attempting to break. Oh, no, I won't do that now. Attempting to break out. I'm just number whatever. 1 success. So probably not. No.
We'll go for 1 more hug.
Oh, and I forgot to take dice penalty. So, but it didn't matter. I failed anyway.
That's another 3 successes.
I soak 2, so I take another 1. So, yeah.
It's only on 3.
Mhm.
That's 1 act.
Yeah, I know. Gonna try something else. As it is the beginning of the round, I will not spend any rage, and instead I will shift to the Umbra. What's the gauntlet rating here?
3.
Cool. Then I got 3 successes to shift to the Umbra.
And Catch will take that as a
Or
sign
out
you're
of
running.
the Umbra, because we're in the Umbra.
Yeah, Catch will take that as a sign that you are running away, and so will therefore gain a rage because she has hatred for cowards.
Oh.
Cool.
Wording a hatred flaw mean you have to roll for frenzy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will roll my 3 rage.
All the fun.
Oh, so much frenzy. So much. You get a
All the
frenzy, and you
fucking
get a
frenzy.
frenzy.
I know, right?
You get a frenzy, and you get a frenzy.
One.
And everyone gets frenzy.
The fight means I have reduced rage, so I cannot actually frenzy. I'm still only on 3 rage now.
Shelby, check your PM.
But she will turn to the others and go, she has run away.
Whenever Rick steps forward and says, "You have won this challenge, Katya Smith."
Oh no. Sorry, I am not there yet because I will have to jump back, which I will, of course.
In and not in agreement, you know. Switched out the Umbra mid challenge. It's like, you know.
She's back again on her feet. And she looks ready to go on.
Catcher will turn to her. You run away like a coward.
I did not run away. I just used a different tactical idea. Actually, one that she gave. She points at 10 points. Calling her a coward too?
Aiden just shakes his head. Mid duel.
The one Everett.
No one determined that we were not allowed to shift.
One
10
Everett.
Point bows her head in acceptance of being called a coward.
She does have a point, Rise.
One
There
Everett
was no.
steps forward and he says, Kathia Smith won. You ran away in the middle of
I
the
did not run away.
Don't raise your voice against me. Clear. You're
Yeah, she's
speaking with an
gonna
accent.
rage. She's gonna rage for being called like coward because fucking hell, she's
Yeah.
trying to go. So she said 4. 3 successes.
You're speaking with an astro. Leave now.
No.
He will look at her and say, I am getting tired of you disobeying my orders. Leave now, or I will treat you like you break the litany. Clear.
Very well. Treat me as such.
Kathia Smith, it is your responsibility to treat this Federation litany. She did not submit to the higher station. Gather Philbox took the sept. And he
Tlatine will shift into Krynos.
The point has been made. Do you intend to challenge, or do you acknowledge that you've broken the litany?
I have not. No, I have broken the litany. Yes.
Then it is my duty to announce that you must be judged as such.
You are not the high-ranking Philodox in this place. She looks at
Yeah, they're basically Aiden's like fucking Katja, you know what I mean? Not you, Cub, tonk on the back of the head.
Katja will look at the cub and just then ignore him and will just say, I think some lessons may be required. Step back, cub. She turns to Talate. She isn't ignoring him now. She turns to Talate. And to Von Everett. We will deal with this. But people should have a chance to say their piece. And now, when emotions are high and much has already been said, is not perhaps the best place to resolve this. Much rage has already been spent.
He says, you have your mission. Get out of Philoboxes. The Kraus. And the other Silverfang.
I will.
Do your duty. And he steps back, kind of angrily.
Will steps forward and he's in Homid now, but he will take his sister's arm and go to pull her back to the where the Children of the Spirit Wilds were standing. And in Packlink, he'll say, yeah, basically, come on. Nothing really special. Just encourage them to come back and stand with them.
Catcher will turn to Will. And this bone breaking. We need to wrap this up soon. She will look back at the cub. Cub, I will offer you this bone because you had asked earlier for it. But before I do, you are going to think long and hard about the words that come out of your mouth now, considering all that has gone before and all that still will now have to follow this. You have a right to speak, but remember your place, and remember what you have seen here. And she will hold it out to him and see if he still takes it.
Joe accepts the bone very, very. Says, "I will remember Raya." And he bows and steps forward, and he turns to address everyone, and he kneels, and he bares his throat. The only words that I wish to say at this juncture is only words of advisement. A time of war is approaching us, and as we have just to be most unified, my advice that I wish to give to my honored Rayas is that if there is any outstanding issue, find a ranking Philodox and handle them through challenges. When the elders declare that a time of war has come, or however the traditions of this sept are done, I urge my honored Rayas to set whatever is left aside, as we must do what is right by Gaia and the nation. That is all I wish to say. Thank you. And he hands it.
Catcher will take the bone. Catcher will take the bone back off of him quite firmly. And now we are being told how to suck eggs. Does anyone else have anything else they would like to say? If no one else has, if everything has been aired, then she will raise the bone and hold it very briefly in the air. And if nobody speaks, she will bring it down smartly on her knee so it snaps in two. Then I declare this bone broken and this moot over.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, unless there's anything that anybody would like to do, I believe this is the point in which we end this scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you to my co-ST for being awesome. And thank you again to the Werewolf STs for letting me be other players. This has been another scene for Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.